You're listening to the Beat Break Podcast.
Remember, anything can happen today.
On the Thinking Out Loud Network. Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.
Yes. Morning, world. How you feel this morning? Life is good. Life is amazing. It's time to wake up and get started on your life. Tune in to yourself and the Beat Break Morning Show. Yep. Sean Garvey, DJ Roll'em. Yep. Get ready to change the world. We are in tune with who we are. We are great. Life is getting started, and we can't wait. Come on. Wake up, everybody. Tell all you know. Tune in to the Beat Break Morning Show. Sean Garvey, DJ Roll'em, all in your iPod with the help of the Wake Up Morning Squad. So dope. Check the interviews and what's happening on the daily news. They play tunes that sound so nice. You might even hear your homeboy precise. So don't hit the snooze, get started, you know. Tune in to the Beat Break Morning Show. Don't hit the snooze, get started, you know. Tune in to the Beat Break Morning Show. I say the morning show, the morning show. Tune in to the Beat Break Morning Show. I say the morning show, the morning show. Tune in to the Beat Break Morning Show. I said the morning show, the morning show. Tune in to the Beat Break Morning Show. I say the morning show, the morning show. Tune in to the Beat Break Morning Show.
It's the Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey and the crew.
Wake up, wake that ass up. It's the Beat Break Morning Show. Good morning. You are now rocking with the best. I go by the name of Sean Garvey with DJ Roll'em on the ones and twos, and the Wake Up ladies, Sharia Thomas and Diamond Love. We got a star-studded show for you this morning. We got a special guest in the studio, and we also have special guests calling in on the phone lines this morning. Your chance to win 2 free tickets to see Michael Henderson, jazz guitarist, live in concert at City Winery this Friday night. We got your opportunity to win in just a few moments. Plus, we got a lot of great things happening. The 411 Wire coming up with Diamond Love, Sharia Thomas, Sharia's Law. DJ Roll'em is going to be putting it down in the mix, especially for the Craig Mack tribute. We got that coming up later on in the program. Plus, we got a surprise celebrity guest calling in to the morning show. You do not want to go anywhere. Follow us on all your social media at Beat Break Radio, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Fake news or not, coming up next right here on the Beat Break Morning Show.
Is it fake news or not fake news? That's the question. It's now time for Fake News or Not, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show.
It's time now for a new segment in which we like to call hashtag Fake News or Not. And you decide whether what we are putting out there on the airwaves is fake news or not. All right, well, matter of fact, I will let you know whether what we are saying is fake news or not. All right, and you can take it with a grain of salt. Okay, so here we go. Here in Atlanta, actually in the outskirts of Atlanta, in which we like to call it Cobb County, a 47-year-old woman was arrested recently and sentenced to 15 years in prison for running over, and get this, running over her sugar daddy. Alright, a lady by the name of Jumakia Raquel Henley, 47, of Kennesaw, was convicted of aggravated assault with a motor vehicle, aggravated battery, and felony hit and run for running over her sugar daddy in his Marietta driveway 2 years ago. Okay, so this is 2008, so the incident happened in 2016. Now, of course, from what our sources are telling us is that she ran over her sugar daddy in revenge. Okay, so here's what went down. All right, so the victim, who was ran over by the 47-year-old woman, a retired engineer in his 60s, first met Henley in February of 2016 at a Chastain Meadows Walmart, and one thing led to another. Of course, he asked her to lunch, and all of a sudden he ended up being her sugar daddy. And so as time went by, he stopped being her sugar daddy. He got tired of the pressures of being a sugar daddy, and the woman couldn't take it anymore. You know, so that was her cash cow. And in revenge, she ran over him, and now she is serving 15 years in prison for those felonies. So my question is this fake news or not? I think it is not. It is not fake news. It is not fake news, ladies and gentlemen. This actually happened here in Georgia, in the outskirts of Atlanta. Yeah. So just beware, fellas. If you're going to be somebody's sugar daddy, be aware of the consequences that come along with it, because you do not want to be a victim of a hit and run. Okay? There's nothing like a woman scorned. That's all I can say. All right? So, fake news or not, of course, you all know the wife of President Trump, Donald Trump Jr., has been hit with some divorce papers. Of course, you all know that by now. Vanessa Trump said that enough is enough. And so now Vanessa Trump has filed for divorce against Donald Trump Jr. And our sources tell us that the reason why Vanessa is getting a divorce from Donald Trump Jr. is because he cheated on her for the porn star better known as Stormy Daniels, or what I like to call Stormy Weather Daniels. Now, you know, Stormy Daniels is the woman who has came out publicly letting the whole world know that she has had an affair with Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, your president, Donald Trump. And it just so happens that Donald Trump Jr. got a slice of that pie as well. Right? So that's the reason why Vanessa Trump is getting a divorce from Donald Trump Jr. There's too much sex going on in the White House. Too much happening in the White House. So you decide. Hashtag fake news or not. I go with fake news. The jury is still out on that one, on why Vanessa and Donald Trump Jr. are getting a divorce. So the jury is still out on that one, so who knows. But hey, if I was living under the same roof as the Trumps, I would get a divorce too. I'm just saying. Alright, it's the Beat Break Morning Show. Stay tuned. Diamond Love got the 411 Wire coming up and a lot more. We're going to get back into some more great music right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram at Beat Break Radio. It's the Beat Break Morning Show. And it's your host, Sean Garvey, with DJ Roll'em and the Wake Up Ladies. We are the Beat Break Morning Show. Good morning. We have a very special guest on the phone line. But before I swing it over to this gentleman that's on the phone line with us this morning, let me just say that this moment right here is so precedented. If you listen to our show for so many years now, we brought on a lot of artists from the hip-hop and R&B community. We are known for is indie hip-hop and R&B music. But when it comes to jazz, it is a very, very important genre in our community, in our history. And I really believe that without jazz, you would not have hip-hop and R&B to this very day. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel. But here to talk about it all is a iconic, legendary artist. When you think of artists like Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Phyllis Hyman, The Dramatics, so many great artists, you got to mention Michael Henderson. He has brought so much to jazz music and other genres of music. And so we have him on the phone lines this morning, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be performing at City Winery this Friday, March 23rd. It is going down. And we are very fortunate and blessed to have the one and only Michael Henderson on the phone lines. Good morning, Michael Henderson. How are you?
All right, good morning. I'm very good. It's beautiful. A beautiful day.
It is. It is a beautiful day, and you made it a very beautiful day just by calling in to the Beat Break Morning Show, and you have a very hectic schedule, which I can imagine because you're going to be performing this Friday night at City Winery in the ATL, and a lot of our audience members are looking forward to it. So we're going to get into that and more, but let's take it back. Let's take it back to the good days of jazz music. And what is so interesting about this interview is that I come from a musical background. My grandfather, Rex Garvin, which a lot of people don't hear me mention him a lot on my radio program. He was in a band called Rex Garvin and the Mighty Cravers, and they were a doo-wop band. They were a doo-wop band in the earlier years, like in the 1940s, 1950s. And so he used to listen to a lot of jazz. And one of the artists that he used to listen to was, of course, Michael. And it's so crazy that, here that we have the opportunity and the pleasure to speak to you, because you have made such an impact to a lot of people for so many decades. So for all of our younger audience members that are listening right now, break it down to us. How did it all begin for you?
I actually started in Detroit, Michigan. I'm from Yazoo City, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother and my father sent for me. Well, my mother actually sent for me from Mississippi to come up to Detroit in the early 60s. And I was listening to, on the radio, I went through a whole long drawn-out thing, where it's for 90,000 years. But in the early 60s, there was a group called Funk Brothers, and they were on the radio, and they did the Motown records. And that's who I used to listen to all the time. And so as a kid, I started playing bass guitar, trying to emulate James Jamerson, who was the main bassist for the Motown during that period.
Right.
And so I started emulating him on the records, and then in short, I eventually started, after listening to him on the records, I eventually started working with him. And I started showing up at sessions, and he would be there, or concerts, and he would be there, and I would be there. And I started playing with a lot of the Motown groups in the early days, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. I worked with Franklin in the early days, and the Four Top Temptations, and Stevie Wonder, Gladys Knight, and everybody at Motown. I worked with Marvin Gaye, and you name it. And when I was like 13 years old.
That's a very great resume. That's a very great resume that you have there. Now, what does jazz mean to you? What does jazz mean to you? Artists like Miles Davis, at times he didn't like it for people to call it jazz music. He wanted people to call it something else. But to you, what was jazz music to you growing up?
Well, jazz actually, Miles used to say that, jazz was basically used in the houses of indiscretion in New Orleans. And whenever a patron would come into the front door, the club owners would yell over to the piano or whoever was performing to jazz it up. That's where the word came from.
To jazz it up, okay.
They use the word terminology, jazz it up, because then basically in the houses where they had young ladies of indiscretion, where they were doing their business, you would know that a new patron, somebody else came in the door, and so that's where the terminology came from, jazz it up. Jazz, the piano player would then go into a hyper mode, playing whatever he was playing, whether it was swing or whatever, to let people know that there were new people coming in. That's where it came from. That's what the word means.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really. I mean, they started to use it in terminology jazz, but the word is really just from New Orleans, where most of the people used it to other people know that there was business coming in the door.
Okay.
So jazz to me, if you're asking me, well, I never played. We played swing and we did some jazzy things with Miles, but he really never liked the word jazz. He never would call it jazz. That's why he stopped playing that type of music because he wanted to do something else. He wanted to do R&B, funk, fusion. That's why the music changed.
And I'm learning I'm learning so much right now, and it's only a few minutes into your interview. Let's stay on Miles Davis for a moment, because you and Miles, you all had that great chemistry with each other performing together on stage. And I recall the moment, and you can elaborate on this moment, if you will, where Miles Davis, from my understanding, Miles Davis saw you perform one night, and Miles went up to one of the people that was on stage with you and told the person, "Hey, I'm taking Michael away from your band." Is that what really happened? What went down? What went down as far as Miles Davis kept bringing you under his wing?
Oh, okay. Well, I was working at the I was working at the Coke Cabana in New York, and with Stevie Wonder, and the house was packed, and Miles came in with his then girlfriend Betty Davis, and he came up to the dressing room after the performance. That's where Miles told Stevie Wonder, "I'm taking your ass bass player." And so he gave me his phone number. Miles gave me his phone number. He called me. We talked about a week later, and I joined the band. I joined his band.
And the rest was history.
That's it. And then I went on to record like 40 albums with Miles Davis.
Wow. Wait, you said 40 albums with Miles Davis?
Yes. Yes, 40.
Wow.
40. It may have been more.
Okay. That's incredible. That's incredible. Some artists today can't even do 3 albums. Or later on in their careers. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Miles Davis recorded some 400 albums in his lifetime.
And the similarities between you and Miles Davis is so interesting, because Miles Davis not only played the the saxophone or the trumpet. He not only
played trumpet.
Right. He played
keyboard. He played keyboard in the trumpet.
Right.
His main instrument was the trumpet.
Right. Absolutely. He was multifaceted. Like you just said, he also played the keyboard as well. And you played not only the bass guitar, but you played the saxophone. You even sang. You wrote songs, and you was a composer, a recorder, producer, and you still are to this very day. And it's just interesting that artists like yourself and like a Miles Davis, you all are so multi-talented that you all have the ability to play more than just one instrument. And I always tell people, like Prince, God rest his soul, very iconic person that we have had in music history for such a long time. But there were many artists like Michael Henderson that came first before Prince that were able to just do so much than just one instrument, was able to perform than just one instrument. But you did it all, man. What do you say to that? What do you say, like, as an artist, how challenging was it to just play more than just one instrument?
Well, it depends on how determined you are to get your expression out, and when you want to get your expression out, you use anything and everything to get it out so people can hear it. So it became natural to want to play other instruments, and like you said, for instance, Prince was great at doing that, and God rest his soul, he was one of the greatest at doing that, and so was my brother Michael Jackson, and it's just a natural thing to want to play a lot of instruments.
let me ask you this regarding Miles Davis before we move on. Now, of course, a couple of years ago came the movie Miles Ahead, starring Don Cheadle, who played Miles Davis, which I feel, in my personal opinion, he did a great job portraying Miles Davis. What did you see the movie, by the way? Did you get a chance to see the movie? And if so, how did you perceive it when it came out?
I saw the movie, and it was just that. It was just they pretty much missed how Miles really was. They just captured one of his maybe many moments where he may have been in an altered state, and they built the whole film around him being in this altered state. But there was so much more to Miles Davis than they predicted, than they actually put in the movie, and so a lot of people don't really get to see the greatness of Miles Davis because they focus on one thing. And they just focus on one thing, and so they didn't get really to see the greatness of Miles Davis on tour, breaking down barriers, going to different countries, and for the first time, we played the music. He played the music that opened doors and let all of the other musicians in, and him with Duke Ellington, and him with all the other Sarah Vaughan, and all of the other great artists that he worked with, Dizzy Gillespie, and they missed all of that, and they just focused on some drug episodes.
Michael Henderson on the telephone lines right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. We got more with Michael Henderson.
It's the Beat Break Radio Show.
Good morning. It's the Beat Break Morning Show. I am Sean Garvey with DJ Roll'em and the Wake Up Ladies. If you are now joining us, we are talking to special guest, legendary jazz musician and guitarist Michael Henderson. He is going to be performing this Friday night at City Winery, Atlanta. All right. And while we were on break off the air, we were talking about some of the artists back in the day that he did not get a chance to work with. And one of those artists happens to be Jimi Hendrix. And Michael, you was telling me off the air that you almost had an opportunity to interview. And you was telling me off the air, Michael, that you almost worked with Jimi Hendrix before his early demise. And so talk to us a little bit about that, because I know it would have been a great experience to work with another legend like Jimi Hendrix.
Right. I was leaving Miles, and it was during the time I was working with Marvin Gaye and the Dramatics. And Miles took a hiatus. He was not going back out on the road. And so I got a call from Jimi Hendrix, Buddy Miles, because I worked with Buddy Miles. And Buddy Miles gave Jimmy my number, and I got the call, and I got the plane ticket and everything. And, the ticket was at the airport. And then 2 weeks before I was to go there, he was gone.
Wow. Very bittersweet moment. Very bittersweet. Michael Henderson, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. For those who are tuning in, he is going to be performing this Friday night at City Winery here in the ATL. Now, in front of me, Michael, I have the anthology CD, Take Me, I'm Yours, Michael Henderson. A very great catalog of songs that you have here at the concert, which is on disc 1, side A, and on disc 2, side B, Playing on the Real Thing. And I've been listening to it over and over and over again, and you just have such a great body of work as an artist. What were some of the most memorable moments that you can think of as an artist, whether it was, during your prime or in later years? What was some of your most memorable moments performing on tour or at a concert?
Well, I enjoyed in the 70s during the times coming up with a lot of this music performing here in the ATL. I played here for Maynard Jackson. Mayor Maynard Jackson brought me here a lot, and I performed a lot of the venues that are no longer here, some of them that were destroyed, like I can't remember the name of these venues, but there were several venues we played here. I played here with Ashford and Simpson. I was on tour with Patti LaBelle, Teddy Pendergrass, Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind and Fire. Roger and Zap, and you name it. I was out on tour with them. I was with Vandro, so we toured together, and so I really enjoyed being out on the road with all these great artists and learning from them, and as well, you know. And so I've had a great experience, and I'm still learning things. You know, you never stop learning. You know,
absolutely.
Stop learning you through. You know, when nobody can teach you nothing anymore, you're done. You know, but I'm still learning now, even though, you know, I work with a lot of younger. I'm starting to work with a lot of younger artists as well. And so, but back in the day, I worked with everybody. I was Mick Jagger and Dr. John as well. You know, plenty of artists. You know, and schools. I got my curriculum. I'm in the schools too. I go to the schools and teach them about Motown and Miles Davis, and I have a curriculum that I do. But traveling has been a great experience for me. Just touring the whole time.
Incredible, very incredible. I'm going to throw out some names there, and I want you, this is what I want you to do, Mr. Henderson. I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind when I mention these names, okay? Okay. I'm going to start with Stevie Wonder. What comes to your mind when you hear Stevie Wonder?
Absolute genius. The best, one of the greatest of all time.
Okay. Ray Parker.
Absolute genius, one of the greatest of all time.
Okay. All right. Phyllis Hyman.
Absolute brilliant. One of the greatest of all time then and now and forever. Ray Parker and Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
And Phyllis Hyman was just one of the best ever in life. And she's a great person as well.
Okay.
Didn't get to make it to being the fly on the wall on Facebook.
Yeah. I can concur. Okay.
See how many fans really loved her, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
She didn't really get a chance to stick around long enough to really see how people really cared about her.
See, so you're saying there was more. There was more that we as listening consumers that we could get out of Phyllis Hyman before she transitioned as well. There was more she wanted to give to the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's definitely more that she wanted to give and needed to give, and she didn't get a chance to do that. And, you know, she was at Eric Records before Whitney Houston. Actually, Clive Davis wanted to make her Whitney Houston before Whitney Houston, and they just didn't see eye to eye.
Okay.
They just didn't see eye to eye. She was more of wanting to be her own boss, you know, not take directions from anybody.
That's incredible too.
She could do that, you know, and she was capable of doing that, you know.
Right. That's incredible. That's what you call in our days now. That's called being a G. That's called being a G.
Yeah,
that's being kind of gangster with it.
And they couldn't stay. Yeah, they didn't want her to do that, so they shut her down.
Okay. All right. I have three more. To name. Let's see. Who else? Who else can we throw in there? Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin, well, you know, she's just, when they say the queen, that's what they mean. She's the queen. And I worked with her as a youngster, too, as a 16-year-old. I was her bass player. She's the absolute queen, the very best. I don't know, God just put all of his gifts inside of her.
Nice. Okay, two more. Marvin Gaye.
Well, he was pretty much one of the best at what
Absolutely. I 100. No, I don't 100. 200. I put 200% agree with that. I agree with that. Last but not least, and we got to save the best for last. All of them are best. All of them are best. But let's do Miles Davis. We spoke about him earlier. Miles Davis.
Well, Miles Davis was like a fighter in the ring. His father actually did the dentistry work for Jack Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Fighter Jack Johnson. The early, you remember Jack Johnson, right?
Absolutely. Boxer. Yep. Absolutely.
Miles Davis' father was his dentist.
Okay.
So Miles came through. His upbringing was, we're not going to do nothing we don't want to do. We do what we want to do. We take no prisoners. And so Miles was not accustomed to somebody speaking to him and saying no.
Mm.
He only believed in, yes, we can. And then through his family, his father, they came up with money. They made money. His father was much rich in the time, and so he came up with a different insight and how to do things. And he was, a lot of musicians come up and there are barriers that are blocking them. Well, Miles had none of those. He would look at it and say, well, why can't I do this or why can't I do that? And then instead of simply waiting on somebody to say why you can, he just started. He just delved in and started up, And that's, he's a creator, he's a free spirit, he's the black planet, the planet exploding. And he's still doing that.
Right.
Now, he left that legacy here. I wanted to say too, a lot of the artists here in Atlanta have sampled my music here in Atlanta. Jagged Edge is one of them.
Wow. I you know what? Honestly, I did not know that. And I followed Jagged Edge for such a quite some time now, a very great amount of time. And it's funny that you said that, because not only Jagged Edge and not only here in Atlanta, but so many artists in the hip hop industry, in the hip hop culture, have sampled your music as well, from the likes of Snoop Dogg,
Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Tupac, Biggie Smalls, all of them, L Cool J. But Jagged Edge did 6 in the morning. Let's see.
What was it? Where the party at?
No. Yeah. 6 in the morning. It was 6. The lyric was 6 in the morning. I don't know around 6 in the morning. Whichever that, I can't remember the name of the song right now.
Okay, we're gonna find that out. Okay.
Where they sing that. That's You Are My Starship.
Okay. We're definitely gonna find that out momentarily. We're gonna find that out through our researcher here.
Oh,
yeah. That's incredible.
Jermaine Dupri, they took care of business. The one thing I like about Jagged Edge is Jermaine Dupri and the Atlanta-based hip-hop artists, they take care of business. You know what I'm saying? They ain't like everyone else.
Okay. I got here Visions by Jagged Edge.
That's the song. That's
Okay.
it.
I'm trying to think, what album did that come out of? It came off of the album Hard, which was a pretty
hard album.
Yeah, that was a pretty good album. Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
They did a great job. Fantastic job.
Shout outs to Jagged Edge. Shout outs to Jagged Edge. That's incredible right there, man.
Jermaine Dupri was the producer.
Oh yeah. Jermaine Dupri. Wow, incredible producer, incredible composer.
Yeah.
And
they did a great job.
Absolutely, man. I told you all this was going to be a star-studded program this morning, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. I'm learning so much from legendary artists, guitarists, vocalists, you name it. He's going to be performing this Friday night at City Winery, located here in the ATL, 650 North Avenue, Northeast Atlanta. What can people expect from your show on March 23rd? What do you want people to take away from your show?
Well, I try to bring the music that a lot of people try to get, that vibe, that they want to know how we recorded those songs in the 70s, or a lot of the songs that they sampled. So I bring that vibe live on the stage. That history of how we did things, and I kind of share some of the information on how we did it and some of the people I worked with over the years. And we just want to carry the ritual of where I came from with all of the great musicians that I came up with. I'm carrying what they also gave me and shared with me. I'm bringing it to me. And the only way you can see it and hear it is live. And, you hear it on the record, but you don't really know it until it's live.
Mm.
Then you see how it's done. You see how we do it. And because a lot of those people are not around anymore.
Right.
To give you that experience, and you can't really talk to them because they're not here. And so while I'm here, I continue that legacy.
Mm. Absolutely, absolutely. And your legacy still carries on to this very day, whether a person is listening to your music on the radio or hear a song on TV, and just by this interview alone, your legacy still carries on. It's going to carry on for years and years to come. And it's going to be a packed show. It's going to be a packed out show this Friday night, City Winery. Definitely want to encourage you all to come out and enjoy great jazz music, just different genres of music all into one. And it's going to be this Friday night. Doors open at 6 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m. So we want to make sure that you take your girl out, take your husband, take your wife out, your significant other, and enjoy this wonderful experience. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure those butts are in those seats before 8 p.m. this Friday night at City Winery, located at 650 North Avenue, Northeast Atlanta. It's going to be inside the Ponce City Market, okay? And we're going to give the audience members, Michael Henderson, we're going to give them an opportunity to win some free passes throughout the show.
Okay.
We're going to, yes.
Yeah. All right now. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to give some of you all out there opportunities to see Michael Henderson perform live in concert this Friday night. It's all going down at City Winery in the ATL. All right. So for ticket information and more, they can go to citywinery.com/Atlanta. That's citywinery.com/Atlanta. We're going to have all the information on our website, beatbreakradiofm.com. Hey, listen, Michael, it's been a pleasure. It has been an honor. And before we let you go, my intern here, she had a question for you, and I'm going to ask it to you on her behalf. But she's from that new generation. She's from the new generation of what's happening right now in music. And so, despite the mixed feelings that people have about today's music from both sides, hip hop and R&B, some artists that you hear today, even with J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar and a few others that still carry on the legacy of jazz music. Any artists that you would love to work with, new artists like a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar, any new artists that you would like to work with in present day time?
I like a lot of there's a lot of artists that are out now that I'd love to work with. They're doing their thing just like we did our thing, and they're finding their way, and a lot of them have found their way. And I must tell you, a lot of times I'm surprised at what I'm hearing, and it's a lot of great stuff that's out there. And you mentioned Kendrick Lamar and a lot of the various obvious names that are out and about. And I like some of the old school guys too. The old school hip hop guys too. I mean, they still have it. There's something magical about, definitely something magical about, without question, about hip hop. As it has its own thing, and I really love a lot of hip hop, and me, I'm open to all of it. So I'd love to work with, give them my number. I mean, let's talk, let's do something.
All right. You heard it here first, exclusively, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Let's see if we can see that collaboration between Michael Henderson and Kendrick Lamar, or that collaboration between you and J. Cole, or even Jay-Z. Jay-Z still got something in him. I mean, with the success of 444, hey, let's see that collaboration between you and Jay-Z. How about that?
Oh yeah, and see the good thing about it, we used to record those. Take for instance, like the Dramatic album. What you see is what you get. I picked that album because a lot of people sampled a lot of stuff. Well, all of those guys that played on that record are gone except myself. We recorded What You See Is What You Get, In the Rain, Get Up, Get Down. All those songs on that album we did at 6 in the morning. We through about 5 in the afternoon. The whole album was recorded. And so when we record stuff, even today when I record, it's like an assembly line. You can't get better than getting somebody that can just sit down and make up stuff for 12 hours.
Absolutely.
Every day is something new. You make up, and that's what I do. They hired us to come in and create stuff every day in the morning, and that's what I still do. I still can do that, and that's the assembly line. That's what we did. We cut hit records all day long.
Yes, and you are going to get that this Friday night at City Winery, Atlanta.
We do it live too.
Yeah.
We do all of that creative stuff live on stage.
Right. Love it.
Along with the hit records.
Love it. I love it. Yes. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Henderson. It has been a pleasure. It has been an honor.
You're listening to the Beat Break Podcast.
Remember, anything can happen today.
On the Thinking Out Loud Network. Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com. The Beat Break not only has exclusive music, but also exclusive interviews like this. No substitutes.
What up? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody out there in the world. It's the Beat Break Morning Show. Good morning, Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies, Sharia Thomas and Diamond Love. Shout out to all of our affiliate stations. We are broadcasting live from WAEN FM studios in the beautiful city of the ATL. Shout out to the staff and volunteers over at WAEN FM in Atlanta, Studio 21 Media. And shout out to our other affiliate stations, WBHH, Muse Digital One, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn. Sean Garvey in the air chair, rocking it out with you on this beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And speaking of beautiful, I have a beautiful young lady in the studio. We always break new artists right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. She shut it down at Cafe 290 a few days ago in the ATL, ladies and gentlemen. She did her thing on stage with a very professional, great band, I may say. You know what I mean? She is in the studio to promote her new CD entitled Soul Therapy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We all need a little bit of soul therapy in our lives, should I say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here on the Beat Break Morning Show, we have no other than Ine. Ine in the building. Good morning. Welcome to the Beat Break Morning Show for the first time.
Yes, and thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here.
Yes, everybody from our Facebook and Instagram followers out there tuning in with us. This is them seeing you for the very first time.
Hey, y'all.
Say what up to everybody. Shout out to our Instagram followers out there. Let the Instagram viewers take a look at you, at the very beautiful Ine.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's a
Doing
nice
wonderful?
Saturday. Weather's great. I'm wonderful.
Lovely. ATL, early spring. I got tired of the winter weather. to be honest with you. Back-to-back snowstorm.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't get any of that anytime soon.
I hope not. Hopefully not in ATL. Maybe somewhere else, but not here.
Yeah.
Tonight is daylight savings, right? So
it is. Said that.
Sleep. So
Set that back.
Yeah, but other than that, we're good.
Set that back. You shut it down at Cafe 290 a couple of nights ago.
Yes.
I must say you did your thing on stage. Shouts to Reva for introducing me to you.
Yes. Thank you, Reva. For setting this up. Yes.
Talk to the listeners out there about your experience at Cafe 290.
Absolutely. Cafe 290 is the place to be, especially on Wednesdays. Reva Blue has amazing artists, local artists, and great food, amazing atmosphere, and the sound there, y'all, it was just amazing. Just the sound is just professional and awesome. So Wednesday nights, you're not doing anything, go out to Cafe 290, playing out for good music, Reva Blue featuring great artists from the local Atlanta area.
Yeah, definitely. Like Cafe 290, if you're not from here, if you're not an ATLian like I am, Cafe 290 is like a mini Madison Square Garden. Everybody cannot perform at Cafe 290. Anybody just cannot walk in and perform at Cafe 290. Some of the greats have been there. Well-known comedians, Jamie Foxx to name a few. Great performance, great acts have been there, and you were blessed enough to bless the stage with a great band.
Yes. Thank God for that, and thank God for that opportunity. It was amazing. Just being able to share the songs for my album Soul Therapy, and for Reva Blue presenting that opportunity was just awesome. And what I really enjoy about Cafe 290 is that people who come out there really are coming out there to enjoy music, and that's a nice thing for an artist to see, that people appreciate live music. And the other thing about Cafe 290 is that you have musicians that are just amazing. I've been there a couple times, and it's just the cream of the crop of musicians show up there to play with these artists. So so it was just an awesome experience.
Shut it down. So the $1 million question: who is Ine? Who is Ine?
Ene is a Nigerian.
Is it Ine or Ene?
It's Ene. So
Ene.
It's Nigerian. So I'm Nigerian.
Ene. Okay.
Start by saying that. And so Ene is a Nigerian name. It simply means mother, from the Idoma ethnic group. And Ene is a Nigerian American singer-songwriter. I'm a physician full-time during the day and an artist full-time evening and other times. So that's essentially, in a nutshell, who I am.
You have multiple jobs.
I do have multiple jobs.
Ene has multiple jobs. I got multiple jobs too.
You do?
Yeah.
Tell me what they are.
Right, live on the air, really?
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Really? No, everybody knows. I mean, I got work at other radio stations. Okay. I do other radio stations outside of here.
Oh, interesting. Okay, we don't want to talk about the competition. They're not. Okay, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, no. It's all about you. It's all about you right now. Yeah.
So that's what I do, and music just kind of happened over time. I went to Temple Medical School in Philadelphia, and I went at a time when neo soul was just like, blossoming and booming. The likes of Jill Scott, Music Soul Child, Jaguar Wright. I don't know if y'all know her, but they were just, building up that music scene in Philadelphia while I was in medical school. So I essentially kind of plugged myself into that and built my music while I was in Philadelphia. I was able to be signed to a team that actually worked with Jill Scott while I was in Philadelphia. And then I moved to Atlanta 5 years ago to continue this music dream. And I'm here today in Atlanta. It just has a wonderful musical platform. People here want to hear great music. So I'm here to build from Atlanta and to the rest of the world, hopefully.
Going back to my attendance there at Cafe 290, like what I got from your performance was on like a Jill Scott, Erykah Badu type of vibe. I mean, there were other artists that came to my mind too, but those were the main two that came to my mind. So is that your lane right now as an artist? Is that your lane, like that neo soul, soulful type of vibe that you're on?
It is, and I know neo soul is. I love neo soul. I don't know that it. I think that it had its phase. I think that there's always neo soul. I think that we coin it different things at different times. I think that what I'm doing now, I would just say is soul. I call it world soul because there are influences from American soul music, and I also incorporate my, my African roots into it too. So I call it world soul. But you're right. I've heard that I sound, but this sound is a bit like Jill Scott, Erica Badu, Indiari, that whole genre. But yeah, so I call it soul music.
Soul music. Okay. What to you? What is soul music to you?
Wow. So that is a loaded question. It is a sound. It is a feeling. It is both a sound and a feeling. So I think that whoever coined that term, God knows, 60, 70 years ago, coined it based on the feeling that they got. You go out, you listen to an artist, and you just feel like, they're reaching to your soul and they're singing from their soul. I think that over time, it became music affiliated with, I would say African-American culture, and just that type of music that, incorporates gospel and incorporates rhythm and blues, and you listen to it, and not only is it timeless, but there's a feeling to it.
Right.
So soul music is just everything. Anything can be soul music, y'all. Really, really. I just see it as music with feeling, music with heart, music that typically is instantly likable. It doesn't matter if you listen to rock, if you listen to whatever, you listen to soul, and it has that universal sound that no matter what your ear palette enjoys, you just hear soul and you're like, oh my God, I like that. I think that's what soul music is.
That's a very great explanation. People have different meanings, different interpretations of what soul music is. Someone once told me that soul music is universal music. It's not just limited to just one thing, but as long as it can affect and touch as many people through positive messages, then it should not just be limited to just soul music, because when you think of soul music, you think of the urban audience.
Yes.
Yeah. But soul music, universal music, there you go, universal music reaches out to whatever demographics that are out there. It can reach out to our Caucasian people. It can reach out to our Hispanic people, to our Asian people, regardless of religion, sexual orientation, or whatever you believe in, whatever your faith is. If it reaches out to you and you can get something from it, that's what matters.
Absolutely.
That's universal soul music.
I like that.
You like that?
Universal.
Yeah,
like
there you
that.
go. We break it down right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. N.A. in the building. N.A.?
N.A.
N.A.
Yes.
N.A.
Thanks, Renee without the R. N.A. There you go.
And you got a very beautiful name, by the way.
Thank you.
You know.
It is my real name. Thank you.
And it's only 3 letters.
It's only 3 letters. It's so simple. It's perfect, I think.
Okay. So, I see here that you once opened up for artists such as Janelle Monáe.
I did.
And Fantasia.
I did.
2 heavy hitters.
I did. In Philadelphia, Philadelphia was just a place where, artists come out and, that the opportunity came up for me. I would say Janelle Monáe was just amazing to perform, to open for, and just, we're talking maybe 7-8 years ago, but even then had just a wonderful spirit, and I remember just being mesmerized by her performance. So it was just a great opportunity to do that. Same too with y'all, if you've seen Fantasia, you understand what I'm talking about.
I've seen her perform live in concert.
You
before.
have. What
Yeah.
do you think about her?
It's a stellar performance. Very stellar.
It is. And
Very
she has
stellar.
that great, almost like you're listening to R&B and gospel at the same time. So
Yeah.
that was also amazing. So yeah, both awesome experiences, and I was happy to have that opportunity.
Yeah. Did you get any advice, any recommendations from either of the 2?
So I didn't meet Fantasia personally, but I met Janelle Monáe, and I actually sat down with her and spoke with her. And I just remember her being very, very encouraging. She said, look, this is how I started out. You just have to just keep pushing and doing your thing. And, so I just remember her being very encouraging. And also, I believe that she kind of mentioned authenticity. And, if anybody's authentic about what they do, it's Janelle Monáe. She just paved a path for herself. Like, you can't really coin what she does. So, so that was what I remember from back then.
Lovely. Okay. So we're going to go over to our Facebook Live followers out there. Checking in with us. Make sure you hit us up at Sean Garvey on Facebook. That's my personal page. So get interactive with us at Sean Garvey on Facebook. And you can also check out this interview live and direct on Instagram at Beat Break Radio. So make sure you follow us everywhere at Beat Break Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. So we're going to go to our Facebook followers out there. They have a question for you. Let's go over to Mario, who's checking in. He asks, what is your favorite song of all time?
It may be Overjoyed by Stevie Wonder. I feel like
Overjoyed. Okay.
Feel like when I hear that song,
one of the greats.
I want to cry. I want to laugh. I'm hopeful. At the same time, I'm emotional. So I would say that would probably be the one. And even from a musical standpoint, if you're musicians out there, just what he did with the music and the chords are just amazing. That spoke to my heart and my spirit. So I would say that's the one that came to mind. So I'm going to stick with that. I've never thought about it before, but I think that's the one.
Okay. Lovely.
Thank you, Mario, for the question.
Shout out to Mario. All right, we got her in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Keep those questions coming at Beat Break Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Okay, so you consider yourself to be like a motivational singer.
I am. And, it never was intentional. I just find that when I write, I tend to write songs that have, motivational and inspirational type of lyrics. Not intentional. I'm a songwriter, and sometimes I've said, NA, write the love songs. Please just write love songs. And I pick up my pen, and it's another song about inspiration. So I believe that that's where my heart, or that's where my path is leading. And the goal is that my music hopefully will motivate, will inspire, will encourage in whatever way that I can.
Lovely. For those who are just tuning in, we are talking to NA in the studio with us. Right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. First time right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. First time. Absolutely. So we're going to get into your new song that we're premiering right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Just to confirm, just to verify to our listeners, we are the first radio platform to play this song, right?
It is playing on 91.9. It's been playing.
Boo.
For the past 3 months. So WCLK, again, they've been playing it for 3 months, right?
Well, we got it now.
You have it now, and so yes,
we got it now.
You're listening to the Beat Break Podcast.
Remember, anything can happen today.
On the Thinking Out Loud Network. Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.
That was the new one from NA. Yes, from her new album. The name of the song was Happy. Yes. Love it. We loved it so much we had to play it back to back.
Oh, thank you.
We had to play it back to back.
Thank you.
Yeah, positive vibes right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Shout out to all of our Facebook followers out there. Once again, keep those comments coming on our Facebook page. You can check me out live. We are doing the Facebook Live thing on my personal page at Sean Garvey, and you can also add us at Beat Break Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We got some other guests that are in the building, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're going to go over to the Facebook Live viewers that are checking in with us. Let's go to the comments because you've been getting a lot of positive vibes.
I know. Angel Cheeks, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Felicia Jenkins, what inspires you to write?
Yeah.
Wow. I think the biggest thing is solutions to I think the biggest thing that humans that we deal with is really just dealing with our own minds and our thoughts and how we deal with challenges in our minds. And really that's where the battle is right here. So I really write inspired based on, what have I done to be able to conquer things within me first, and then extend that to conquering challenges in my life. So my inspiration really is just kind of digging into what helps me to rise up against challenges in my life. So thank you, Felicia Jenkins, for that question.
Yes.
Oh, you're so sweet.
That's nice.
And then Barjona. Andrews, thank you for saying beautiful voice, beautiful positive vibes. Thank you so much. Mario Watts, yes, please ride with it. And I think there was
he said, I can ride with this. That's Mario. That's Mario from the Random Select Show that you can hear on Beat Break 87 FM weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. Shout out to Mario Watts.
Hey, Mario.
Yes.
And somebody said nice horns in the bottom. I don't know who said that all the way at the bottom, but anyway, I saw that.
We know who you are.
And thank you.
Appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. So, the CD. Let's talk about the CD really quick. The CD, Soul Therapy. Yes. You got 16 tracks on the album. Yes. 16. And so, talk to us, what is the story behind this CD right here? What is the story behind Soul Therapy?
Absolutely. This is a labor of love, y'all. The CD thing these days, they say, no one's buying CDs and whatnot. And, I was told when I was putting out my album, they said, just do a bunch of EPs, do a couple songs here and there, put them out. And I said, well, I can do that. I have tons of songs, but I really wanted a body of work that I could say, this someone can listen to a whole bunch of songs and after they're done, feel encouraged, feel inspired, feel uplifted. And so I penned every single song in that album except for my Bobby Brown remake of Every Little Step, which you should check out that song because, I get a lot of positive comments about that song. So other than that song, everything was written by myself, and the goal was to really put out songs that were therapeutic to the soul, really.
Nice.
And I think from what I've heard so far, I think that the album accomplishes that.
Nice. Okay. So let's talk about how people can get the album. How can people get the CD?
Absolutely. So in the digital world we live in, you can get it simply on iTunes. You put in NAENE and Soul Therapy, and I'm on iTunes. Now, what I've also done is if you go to my website, natunes.com, ENETUNES.com, you can actually download it for free. Yes, y'all, you can download the whole album for free.
For the low. Yes, for the very low.
Yes, you can. So that's another way to get it digitally. And so that's how you can get the album.
Nice. Okay. So where can people follow you at? How can people get in contact with you for updates, tours, and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. You can reach me and my management via Facebook, Facebook.com/NA Music Web. I'm on Instagram as NA Music Web. I'm also Facebook. You can also check me out as NA Tunes, ENETUNES. Please like, friend, and hopefully if I'm where you are locally and I'm performing, you can come out and we can shake hands, we can meet and greet, we can chat, and then you can hopefully listen to some good music. So
lovely.
Website www.natunes.com. Think iTunes, take out the I, put NA, and that's another way to reach me.
Lovely.
To watch my videos and whatnot.
Nice. Now, we can't let you go just yet. No, not yet. Because right here on the Beat Break Morning Show via Facebook and Instagram, we are going to bless you to do a live performance right here in the studio. All right? So you didn't bring the entire band, but you brought one other special guest, okay?
I did. I'm here with amazing musician Michael Loa.
Yes.
Amazing guitarist, yes.
So we're going to do it. After this song break. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we're going to do it after this song break. And then I'm going to bring some ladies in the studio with me because, it is Women's History Month. So for the last few minutes that we have here in the studio, we just want to dedicate this portion of the show to all the women out there. All right. So I want to know, what does Women's History Month mean to you? Okay. So we're going to do that after your performance. We're going to come back from the break, and we're going to fellowship. All right? So, in the meantime, between time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the Beat Break Morning Show. Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, Sharia Thomas, and Diamond Love. We are the Beat Break Morning Show. Don't forget to download the Beat Break 87 FM app to your smartphone, to your tablet, and all your other mobile devices so you can hear great shows on Beat Break 87 FM, like the Beat Break Morning Show and the D Hill Radio Show, as well as Random Select with Mario Watts. And after that is the Brass King, DJ, the Brass King. He is going to give you some great music, the Rare Groove Selector from 5 to 6 p.m. And then after that, we got the 360 Mix. What up, DJ 360? So check out all the great lineup of programming. And I cannot forget the Gospel Train with Clifford English. All right, so you can check out all of our schedule programming on our website, beatbreakradiofm.com, and make sure you download the app. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, Facebook, Instagram Live at Beat Break Radio and at Sean Garvey. As promised, we have a live performance from Adnay and the band. We're just going to say Adnay and the band. Okay? That'll work? Exclusively right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. So let's go ahead and let's get right into it, all right? Here's a live performance right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, and enjoy.
So this song, All in All, is playing on WCLK 91.9 Jazz FM in Atlanta. The song is called All in All. And it's a song about just conquering when you're in love, just conquering everything, just conquering love. Love is a journey, and there are going to be battles, but you know, when you make up your mind to fight those battles, you can make it. It's called All in All.
You're listening to the Beat Break Podcast.
Remember, anything can happen today.
On the Thinking Out Loud Network. Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.
Nice. Nice. Exclusively right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Yes, sir. Yeah, watch your step there. Exclusively. What internet radio show would do something like this? What internet radio show? You show me what internet radio show would give you an exclusive live performance from up-and-coming new indie artists right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Adnay in the studio right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. You can come on over. Yeah, matter of fact, we're going to make this a family affair. We're going to make this a family affair situation right here on Beat Break Morning Show, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Love that performance.
Oh, thank you.
Love it. That's what people can expect when you go and pre-order or order the CD Soul Therapy. It is out and available right now. Once again, it is on iTunes. iTunes. Lovely.
NA Soul Therapy. Search, and I'm there on iTunes. You go to natunes.com. You can download it for free. CD Baby. You can get it on cdbabyalso.com. Put in NA Soul Therapy, and you can get the album.
Get the album. Get it right now. While you're watching this broadcast, get it right now. Go ahead and get it right now, all right? Let's go to the comments via Facebook. They are loving it. They are feeling it. Felicia asks, where will you be performing next?
Oh, that's a good one. So if you go to natunes.com, I'll line up my next performance, and that's Felicia, right?
Yes.
All right, Felicia, I'm gonna connect with you on Facebook so that I can let you know of my next performance. Okay.
Nice.
I have one coming up, but that's back in November. But there are going to be others before that.
Nice.
So I will connect with you and let you know.
Okay. Nice. Right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, Sean Garvey, DJ Rollum, and the Wake Up Ladies. And shout outs to the man right here, the good. Man, hand clap. For doing this thing. Well, what's your name, sir?
My name is Boyega. I'm actually from Nigeria, so I prefer my Nigerian name. Though I bear also Michael, I go by Michael as well. So if you find it hard to pronounce Boyega, you better pronounce Michael.
That's good. Good answer. Well, you all did your thing. You all did your thing. All right. So we only got about a few minutes left here in the studio, and I brought somebody with me here, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. Let's see. We're gonna make this a family affair. I know the room is kind of small here, but we're gonna make it do what it do. really quick before we get up out of here, okay? So we got the one and only Kendra Miller.
Yay! In the building.
Right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, killing it. Okay, so the question I want to put out there really quick because we only got about a few minutes left here. Of course, March is Women's History Month, a very important month for every woman that is out there, whether it's social activism, raising awareness about different things that are going on in today's society. And of course, there's a lot of crazy things that are happening right now. You have the Me Too movement and the lack of equal pay. And, just the state of where African-American women are at right now. So let's start with you, Inay. Let's start with you. What does Women's History Month mean to you?
Oh, wow. It means a whole lot to me. I'm going to say that, first of all, women, we've come a very, very long way. I mean, a long, long way. I was born in Nigeria, and you talk about very little women's rights. We've advanced all over the world. Thank God. Thank God that we are advancing. Are we there yet? We're not there yet, but we're getting there. Every now and then I'll meet like an 85-year-old African-American patient, and when they see me as their doctor, they all some of them will express that, we've come a long way, and it's so nice to see a Black female doctor, and every time I hear that, it warms my heart and warms my soul because, they didn't see a lot of it. So they express it and it's always a joy. So we have a long way to go, but thank God because women are resilient. We're resilient. We have an inner strength that just keeps us going and going and going. And so I know that, we're going to get there. Eventually we'll get there where we would hopefully feel that we are treated as equally as men are. So that's what it means to me.
Love it. Love the answer. Yeah, we're going to share the mic. Kendra Miller here in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Same question to you, Kendra. What does Women's History Month mean to you?
Women's History Month means to me power, love, strength, courage, motherhood, all those things wrapped up in one.
Right.
Yes, and it encourages me every day. I love being a woman. I love it. And being a mother. And it just courage for me, just courage, just
absolutely.
Yes, empowerments. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I love the way everything is happening right now. It's a lot of women that are, even more women are speaking out. They're speaking now. They're coming to the forefront. When you see people like Tamika Mowry, and so many other social activists that are out there just speaking out on behalf of African American women everywhere, about social equality, equal pay, things of that nature. It's just very refreshing to see more and more women getting involved in different things, get activism and just speaking out, And of course, on top of that, we are potentially getting our first Black female governor in the state of Georgia. Hashtag Stacey Abrams. Hashtag Stacey Abrams in the state of Georgia. Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful time. And also shout outs to the sisters in Black Panther, by the way. Yeah, Lupita Nyong'o, the new faces, the new chocolate faces in that movie. And Angela Bassett. Also Angela Bassett, yes. My favorite, yes. Angela Bassett, yes. And Nay, appreciate it, ladies. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you all, and I just appreciate you all dialing in, and hopefully I'll get to meet you face to face at one of my shows, nitunes.com, so you can go there to my website so that you can hopefully come out to one of my shows. Thank you all. Love you all. Bye.
No, not hopefully. They will. They will. It's all about Black girl magic right here.
The Beat Break Morning Show with Sean Garvey, DJ Roll, and the Wake Up Ladies. The only morning show where you can wake up next to more than just one woman. You're listening to the Beat Break Podcast.
Remember, anything can happen today.
On the Thinking Out Loud Network. Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.
Sean Garvey, hardest working man in radio, DJ Roll'em, and the Wake Up Ladies, Sharia Thomas and Diamond Love. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is still a bittersweet moment in hip-hop and in the hip-hop community. Of course, you all know a few days ago, last week, one of the best MCs in the game, Craig Mack, passed away at the age of 46, which left a very deep hole in our hearts. If you are a fan of all of his music all the way back to 94, songs like Flavor in Your Ear, Get Down, Jack in My Style, just to name a few, man. I mean, he really contributed so much to hip-hop. And on the phone lines, we have so much of a great unprecedented moment happening right now, right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. We got one of the greats, Erick Sermon, on the telephone lines, ladies and gentlemen. Erick, E-Double, what's going on, folks? Absolutely, absolutely. And on the phone lines with us to help conduct this epic interview, we got the homie DJ 360, an alumni from the Beat Break Morning Show, and also he is the host of the 360. Absolutely, absolutely. He's the host of the 360 Mix Show, which you can catch on Beat Break 87 FM weekdays from 6 to 10 p.m. And he also hosts the syndicated show 360 Bar. So he's going to help me conduct this epic interview that we got going on. Of course, we are still remembering the life and times of Craig Mack, man. And E-Dub, Erick Sermon on the telephone lines, man. It's still bittersweet that we lost one of the best MCs in the hip-hop game, Craig Mack, man. Like, let's start off by asking you, where were you at when you got the announcement, when you got the news that Craig Mack passed away, and what was your initial reaction when you heard about it?
And all of us, I was in the studio, too. Me, Rockwilder, and a bunch of us in my staff was in the studio all night. So, you know, for it to happen, we was all together, most of us.
Right.
So at that point when it came through, it was more so, okay, let's move on to the next thing. Let's start the preparation now that it's happened. It wasn't as sharp as it would have been had you not known his previous. Oh yeah, having not known, hell yeah, it would have been crazy. It would have been. I mean, we were still, again, it was still a messed up night, you know, and it was still, again, kind of messed up, but we wasn't in shock because we knew. And then my boy Alvin had just left him getting 2 hours worth of him talking, you know, before he passed away. So we kind of knew what was going on. I was already making the Craig Mack album. I was already in the works of making the album already, so we was going back and forth with Craig already. So it was like, you know, we kind of knew everything that was going on.
Let's talk about, really quick, man, let's talk about your relationship with Craig Mack. I mean, you know, he came out in the 90s. Of course, EPMD came out before Craig Mack. But talk to us about your working relationship, just that special relationship you had with Craig Mack at the time when he was alive in the physical.
Yeah, well, I never really worked with Craig. That's the illest part. We were just friends from junior high and high school. So you know, me and Craig used to, like, you know, just hang out, listen to new records all the time and the whole nine. So when I did get on, I just took Craig Mack with me on tour. You know what I mean? And we just was on tour. So him and Redman was kind of the roadies on the tour. You know, as far as doing the roadie work, the bags, and Craig Mack used to break down. Craig Mack used to break down scratches, turntables, and also be a part of the production on the stage too, doing like DOS effects set. He would set the bomb up for the bomb to explode, and then the safes will open up. So Craig was just a friend. He was a friend before that, and then so that's the relationship I have with him as far as being a friend. When it came down to business, Craig Mack wanted to be down with the Hit Squad. That's why he signed to the label, and like when he came out in '88 with the Get Retarded record, he had went to Fresh Records while we was on tour to make the transaction smooth. But when it happened, EP&D broke up, so it kind of messed up everything that he was trying to do. Because he was devastated when EP&D broke up, because he didn't want to go to Bad Boy. That's why the Bad Boy thing was, he was always kind of destructive inside that situation, because he didn't want to be there.
Wow. 360, you got anything to add? Anything to ask me?
Yeah. Well, you know, because I've been doing a lot of, you know, since last week, since we all got the information about Craig Mack's passing. You know, I jumped right on it. You know, I listened to your interview you did with TMZ and a couple others, and I know that you had a previous, you know, relationship with Craig Mack. Let's take rap out of it. Let's take
music and business out of it. And you mentioned that you went to school with Craig Mack, you know what I'm saying, and Biz Markie and other guys from Brentwood, and you know, just being products of New York City. Like, what was Craig Mack like before the music? You know what I'm saying, as a person that, and then what characteristics did he take from being a friend and a person? Did he take over to the music? Like, you could say, oh, that's Craig. He got his swag. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And everybody that was a good question. Everybody who you asked about Craig or talked about Craig said the same thing. You know, he was a beautiful person. You know, as far as Craig is the type of that, he kept it 100. So if you had a booger in your nose, he'd tell you. But like, you know, some people let you ride him out with the booger. You know, but he really, like, Craig was a upfront dude. But as far as him personality-wise, is what you saw on the record. You know, as far as him being, you know, this happy and always, you know, wanted to make sure everybody was good, and that's how he was. So for people, like, even when they was on the road, and he was on the road with us, and I would go to my room, but I would hear that him and Redman would be downstairs battling everybody in every city. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how Craig was. Craig was a person that, what we saw of Craig was nowhere near what he was potential-wise as far as the mic. He was iller than that. Like, I can't really, because he's my friend, but rhyme-wise, he was iller than that. Like, that was, it's like Rick Ross doing the first song of Hustling, but then eventually he got ill. When I had Rick Ross, when he was Teflon, he was ill. He was iller than that. Like, as far as the mic, he was incredible on the mic. He just had the time of the way the music was going to get his name up, and then you find out that Rick Ross can rhyme. But I knew that back when Tony Draper was dropping them off at my house, that he was incredible.
Right.
So in with Craig.
Wow.
Well, that's dope, because it's important that, you know what I'm saying, people know the 360 degrees of Craig Mack as opposed to, you know, just being there, you know, because you got a lot of kids nowadays that don't really care about the elders in hip-hop or the people that came before them. And it's important that they know that Craig Mack was not just a one-hit wonder, you know, because they hear Flavor in the Ear and the Flavor in the Ear.
Oh, my God. I'm glad you just said that, because I wanted people to understand that, like, he was more than that. He didn't, again, as far as my friend being troubled, again, like, Craig Mack was troubled, and we didn't get a chance or anybody to talk to him because he left. Like, after he left, nobody know where he went. He disappeared. So imagine somebody disappearing, you don't know where the hell they at. And he's not making no phone calls or nothing. The only time we know is when we see YouTube and he's in Carolina with that coat. He didn't have no phone. He had nothing. There was no way to get in touch with him at all. No way.
Yeah, man.
It seemed like they had him on somewhat of a, I don't want to give too much away because I know it's going to probably come out in the documentary, but it seems like they had him on such a lockdown situation where he couldn't even get medical treatment. And I just said to myself before I called in, I said to my wife, I said, damn, he might still be alive had he had the freedom to get what he had to get done. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can't believe that you saying all the correct shit. The responsibility and them prioritizing what Craig Mack was supposed to be doing didn't happen. They made Craig be like, well, it's in God's hands. And even the pastor here goes to the hospital because we pray first, then we let the doctors take care of us. They didn't let that happen to Craig because everybody lives with congestive heart failure. But like you said, Craig didn't have to have the proper care to keep him in the right spot. Because when you see him, you're going to fall backwards because you're going to be like, no way. When you physically see him, you're not going to be able to take that for the first couple of minutes until he starts talking, where he sounds like Craig and the same personality, the whole nine that you know him for. That's how he sounds like. But physically, it's nothing you want to see.
Wow.
Yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for those who are just tuning in to the Beat Break Morning Show, we got the legendary Erick Sermon on the phone lines with DJ 360 from the 360 Mix Show and 360 Bars, and we're celebrating the life of Craig Mack. We're talking about his legacy, and Erick Sermon on the phone lines, great friends with Craig Mack. And just to back up just a little bit, something you said interesting early on was that, you know, he didn't really want to be on Bad Boy or whatever because, you know, he felt more of a connection with Hit Squad versus Bad Boy. Do you think that's why?
Imagine your best friend or one of your friends like, yo, such and such, you know, well, I'm going to get down with Erick and them. That's why he kept doing the funk, because it was what me, EPMD, Redman, Das Effects. He was already inside that thing of us having MCs that was so different. He fit right in. I'm going to be with my friend, and then the group breaks up. So Alvin Tony, who was down with us too, once the group broke up, he just did what was dope because him and Puffy had a relationship. So he went to Puff. I mean, not that it was a great move, but Craig Mack's dream was to be with the Hit Squad, and that's what he talks about on the documentary.
Wow!
I'll tell you 1,000 times, Erick.
Wow. Exclusive, man. You know, at the same time, we're still celebrating the life. You know what's so crazy, Erick? Like, recently, we seen the Ford commercial that aired. And for those that know what I'm talking about, it's the lady inside the car. You don't hear the song first, but once it goes inside the lady's car, that's when they're playing the Craig Mack Flavor in Your Ear song. It's a Ford commercial. And what's so interesting is that, you know, no matter what decade we're in, 20 years, 30 years from now, you're going to still hear that Craig Mack song Flavor in Your Ear. And that's why I mean by he made such of an impact. You know, of course, he made other hits. He made other songs, too, after Flavor in Your Ear. But that Flavor in Your Ear just took, it helped take hip-hop to a whole new level. You know what I mean? And
Nobody wants to address the elephant in the room, though. But, again, Master Flex did, you know, where was Bad Boy? You know, we don't know the history of how that would have turned out.
Right.
Because this one record was that crazy that now we see a whole thing happen where it turned into a dynasty of Bad Boy. And Flex asked Puff too, what would have happened if you didn't make Flavor in the Ear?
Right.
You know what type of question I need to ask? Because you have to understand what would have been. Like, it may have been a process to get there, but like Flex said, I played Flavor in the Ear 20, 25 times. I had Juicy, but I didn't play it. Right. Don't forget, Craig Mack was on the Mary J. Blige first. Craig Mack was on a couple of other things first. It was all Craig Mack doing that time, doing the stuff leading up to Bad Boy. To get the Flavor in the Ear, it was all Craig Mack.
Wow. Right. He was
all of it.
His energy was vital to the foundation of Bad Boy, and without that foundation, I mean, I'm sure, like you said, it would have taken some time to get to where it eventually would have blown. Because Biggie was an undeniable talent. You know,
exactly,
was an undeniable talent.
Right.
But right. At the beginning, there had to be something to kick the door in, and Craig Mack's distinct voice and energy was that. And since we're talking about music, what was his energy like? Since he looked up to you in Paris and the whole Hit Squad conglomerate to the point where he wanted to be down and whatnot. Talk about the Come Through track that you and Mr. Cheeks, Method Man, Craig Mack was on. Did he feel like okay, this is a piece of what it could have been or what it could be with me?
Oh yeah, you know, man. I don't know. Y'all should be on TV, both of y'all. You're asking the illest questions ever. No, but yeah, that was the whole basis of making that happen. Like, what would have been if I was producing it? And can you imagine that? I never did one. I never did one record on him. But what happened was, we have found some old demos that I did beats for him doing the Jack of My Style time, and he rhymed on them, but that's when Bad Boy, the Bad Boy dropped them. So on the second LP, I was going to be on there.
Wow.
But the world. I mean, I got the songs. I might do like a lost demo tape, whatever. But the fact the fact that I did have some on there, but when you hear him on that, even to come through, and I was just teasing with that, to hear lyrically him go in like that, I'm like, oh my God, the world had no idea that this dude was, he was iller than what you heard.
Damn.
He was iller than that.
I think we would want to hear a piece of that illerness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know. So I'm looking forward to whatever's going on within the next weeks or months or whatever. I want to know that part of Erick Sermon. And I have a somewhat of a connection to Erick Sermon, but I mean, not Erick Sermon, excuse me, Craig Mack.
Right.
Not necessarily a connection, but I'm good friends with the cool DJ Red Alert, the legendary Red Alert.
Yes.
And when you know what I'm saying, that's my uncle, man. And when I was in Atlanta, he lived in Atlanta, and I used to go to his house, and he would give me pointers on the DJ game. And he had a Craig Mack gold record or platinum or gold record on his wall for whatever contributions he did, or because he was at the radio station, whether it was Kiss or on the other station or Hot.
Yeah, he was big. So, he was big blowing that record up.
Right. So I didn't know at the time when I was looking at Red's wall with all the golds and platinums, I was staring at the Craig Mack record because I'm standing in front of a Bad Boy plaque. Like, I'm staring at it, and here comes Red Alert's wife. I call her Auntie Sandra, and that's Craig. And she said, that's my cousin. So it turns out that Red Alert's wife is Craig Mack's cousin.
Wow.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm in the house, and I'm like, damn, this is family right here.
The one question that I asked earlier, the fact that about the one-hit wonder thing, it was the fact that this is so important because I'm not taking nothing from nobody. Don't take this wrong, listeners. Please don't. A lot of people has passed, right?
Mm.
Right.
And how long Instagram been out, because I probably had it for like almost 3 years now. So I've never seen a timeline felt like that since Biggie Smalls.
Wow.
Like not just young, not just old, but young. It seemed like everybody posted Mac, and I'm like, wanted to tell Mac, yo, Mac, do you see this, my nigga? Do you see the love? Because the question that you asked was, he wasn't a one-hit wonder, and that showed it when he died. Because it seemed like everybody posted, not just one.
Right.
It seemed like the whole Instagram family of millions of people posted a video, a song, a picture. Everybody knew where they was at when they heard Flavor in the Air, and if they didn't know, somebody in their house played it when they was kids or whatever. It seemed like everybody and their mother posted a picture or a video of Craig Mack doing his death. In 2 days afterwards, and they kept posting when they found out. And I'm like, yo, and believe me, for those who, we've seen a lot of deaths come through, whatever.
Yes.
But for somebody who I thought and people thought was a one-hit wonder, look how many people he affected. Listen, man, I never did that much interviewing I'm doing now for anybody. But like TMZ was like, yo, like they wanted to know what Craig Mack.
That's the culture, man. That's the culture speaking. You know what I'm saying?
But you're right. But it's like your man just said. Everybody would think it's a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would think that, but for somehow God was like, no. He made it sure that we all know, no, he was more than that. Because check out the love they given him. He was more than that.
Right.
And, Eric, I got to say this, man. I'm glad you said that because I want to echo something that Consequence said. Consequence from A Tribe Called Quest said on Sway in the Morning Show that, they just now giving Craig his roses, just like, how the Grammys did A Tribe. And so, here at Beat Break, we always want to embrace the pioneers, the people that came before the new artists that you're listening to now. You know what I mean? Because no. This is exclusive right here. And the reason why I say that, Eric, is because, Yeah, I mean, the reason why I say that is because, you know, a lot of artists that came before us, you know, they had their time and they still are relevant in our hearts and in our minds, but we're still not giving them their roses, you know what I'm saying? We're not giving them the roses until they dead.
What their culture, when I say they, mean, again, they know that that's Bruce Springsteen, that's Madonna, that's U2, that's Paul McCartney, that's what, no matter what, the name come out and it don't have old school attached to it. They respect their culture. They respect their elders. They respect the people that came before him. I don't know why we act this way. And somebody had told me, Eric, do not let them give you your roses when you're dead. Take your roses now while you're alive and let them know. That's why everybody's doing these documentaries now. I don't blame Dre. I don't blame Puff the whole nine because you never know. Yeah. And even me, I'm 4 days late because I'm supposed to have shot something too because you never know. You got to let them people give you your props now. Yeah. But that's not our culture. We don't do it. Everybody ain't like y'all too, but they should be.
Yeah, yeah.
Word.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm mad passionate when it comes down to my culture and music because I think that, you know, we should, the people, because we learned from Flash and then to Run DMC and then to us and then Wu-Tang followed us and then Bad Boy, everybody, it would follow. And then when the internet came, the gift and the curse, it made it so you don't have to look at nobody else. Soulja Boy made his own, and that was the dopest thing that he could have done, but he also put in the culture. It wasn't his fault because he even told Ice-T, nobody told me what to do. So I'm only doing what I know how to do. So Ice-T had to go back and apologize to him and say, you know what, youngin', you're right. Because none of us told them what to do and how to follow the culture of hip-hop down, and that's why we ended up where we are now.
Damn.
Right.
Damn. Yo, 360, man.
Your passion is justified, man. And you know what I'm saying, we can all appreciate your passion because not only was this what Craig Mack is to me and Sean Garvey and the other, you know, people who may not have known Craig Mack personally, what he is a hip hop legend. He's an icon. He's a MC. He's somebody that we revere from the culture. But for you and those in his inner circle, he's a friend. And so that right there justifies your passion, man. And then you generalize that to everybody. And you want to, and the thing that gets me the most is, and Sean, you tell me if you agree with this, and EW, you understand, you as well, that even when it comes down to the radio stations and the playlists and the programming that they have, they start playing the classics back to back once the person dies, or when they're here, it's like, yeah, you know, maybe it'd be an old school segment, they'll play it, but then it goes into deep rotation when they find out that it was a passing. And that's another, you know, as far as sonically giving them their roses, they need to play.
Hey, yo, if I ever get that spot and they give me that big position on wherever it's going to be Google or YouTube, whatever, I'm coming to get both of y'all. Because the reason why is because the way that y'all are speaking and it's coming from the heart is the fact that if we had that to say, okay, well, we still like R&B and we still like rap, but there's no platform, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm the one to give my kids money to buy music. But now Dad wants to buy music, but it's not for me to buy because none of us are here. Because they done scared all of us and all of us are gone now and they think that we don't belong here. Meanwhile, that other culture, I want to say the other side, you know what I mean? They still make Paul McCartney with a Grammy with Rihanna and Kanye West 2 years ago. Right. He was 72. Barbara Streisand came out with an album. She's number one, selling 253 a week. Number one in the country. She's 73. Like this, it don't stop for them. It's us that we don't look at to be like, yo, who said that we had to stop? And where's this age coming from? Because age don't exist with them. Like I said before, I hate to say that it's a cliche, but age is just a number. It's true because if you still can do this and you still understand this, don't forget, y'all still interviewing me. Y'all still interviewing the veterans. That means I got listeners. That means that this shit don't stop. And who told them to stop?
Right.
Why are we stopping?
Let me ask you this, E. Now, when somebody describes what hip-hop culture is or what hip-hop is, and their definition is, okay, it started as a youthful energy, a rebellious energy in the South Bronx back in the 70s. Kool Herc had his party, Flash and Bambaataa, and it was the youth, the youth, the youth. And so that's one of the things that is at the forefront of the description of hip-hop culture. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate, but just to kind of throw it out there and see. So you got the youth that is at the forefront of early hip-hop, okay? So could that be a gift and a curse in itself? As far as, and I don't want to stray too far away from the Craig Mack topic, but it all ties in.
No, I'm gonna answer this for you right now.
You know,
the reason why that don't apply right now is because the youth ain't doing hip hop. See, the youth was doing hip hop, then we won't be having these talks.
Okay.
Everybody would just freely do their thing and still do what they do and be quiet. The reason why all of us have to come back to make a change is because the culture that we knew no longer exists. The name should be changed. We the only culture that don't, or a genre who doesn't have categories. That means if you look into jazz, it got slow jazz. It has contemporary jazz. It has adult jazz. It has rock. Has rock and roll. It has heavy metal. It has alternative. Matter of fact, Janis Joplin was living. She'd be like, "Yeah, Brittany, you can't be in rock and roll, so we're gonna build a pop category." All we have is hip hop, and everything that's black and urban go in that category. Remember back in the day, they used to put Mary J. Blige in there, TLC in there. Everything is under this one. We have no categories in this thing, so it won't be the clumpness. So we can say, okay, well, here's trap, here's regular hip hop, boom bap, here's club, here's whatever. If we had that, man, we have a dope system, and everybody would be excited. But we don't. We all clumped up in one, and we're the only genre that has it. Everybody else has categories for themselves. We don't.
You know, we gotta. Going back to Craig Mack, I mean, this is a historic interview that we got going on right here on the Beat Break Morning Show. E-Dub, Erick Sermon on the phone lines, remembering Craig Mack and just hip-hop in general. And so this is one of the reasons why we are anticipating on seeing the documentary. And I know that there's going to be more and more hip-hop-based documentaries to come once we get to see this Craig Mack. I know you all probably don't have a release date just yet on when the Craig Mack documentary would drop, but we're so anticipating on seeing more, and I'm just getting like a lot of education, both me and 360. We're getting a lot of education from you, just talking to us about, you know, Craig and the state of hip hop and where hip hop is at right now. And so, you know, I think it's unfair, 360, to ask Erick what you want people to take away from this interview, because you already answered that question. And so with Craig Mack, you know, even though he's not here with us right now, he's still here in the spirit, and his music is still alive to this very day, man. So, like, where do you see in the foreseeable future right now with Craig Mack legacy? Like, what do you see coming out of this interview and just talking to us about the legacy of Craig Mack and hip hop as a whole? Where do you see hip hop going right now?
I just do extra because this is a bunch of stuff that I've been, like, again, I hold in. So when I get a chance to talk to my peoples, I let them know, because people just never give information. So, you know, information is key. So to let somebody understand what this is so they can have a better point of view when they're going out there, understand the culture. As far as Craig Mack is concerned, in Brentwood, we want to make sure that it doesn't die. So every year, you notice that September 20, what Tupac died 21st, 23rd, whatever, it's not mentioned as big as March 9th. Why is that?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Incredible. So, and that's a situation that nobody talks about. So with Craig Mack, we want to make sure that when his death comes up, that is just like the rest of everybody else, the Bob Marleys and everybody else, Prince and everybody else, Jackson, that we don't forget about Craig Mack. That's our biggest thing, to make sure we don't forget about him.
Yo, I want to ask you this, man. You mentioned that Alvin Toney went down to South Carolina and talked to Craig before he left, and Craig wanted to get his story out. And then you mentioned that Craig Mack had more to say. Had he still had his opportunity to, you know, spread his voice and his gift to the world, what do you think his next chapter of music would have been, or the next thing he would have done, had he been able to get away from that situation he was in South Carolina? Like, if he was able to get his more words in reference to hip hop, what would his next thing would have been?
I think it would have been more like, just the ones that speak the message. As far as, I think that it still would have been funky because it would have been produced by us, me, Mo B, Rock Wilder, Ty Fife. We still would have had that, what we have in the new album now. I think that the message would have been still, he would have gave that message out because he was religious. He did change his life. So I think that part of it would have been like that, but it would have been like on the first album when he wrote When God Comes. So we already seen that from him, so it wouldn't have looked different. It just would have been, on the production of Erick and the way it was going would have went that way. But I think that it wouldn't have been no different. It still would have been boy, because again, it's a bunch of that on the new CD, and that was his signature. But I just think that it would be like Big Crit or. The other guy who's a spiritual rapper, I forgot the guy from Canada. The other rapper, I forgot his name. The Canada dude that rock with Ty Dolla $ign.
Oh, Lecrae.
Yeah, correct, exactly. It'd have been like that. No different.
Damn. Erick Sermon, man. Honorable Erick Sermon, man. Like I said, Craig Mack will always live in our lives, man. And you and EPMD. When I think of Craig Mack, I also think of EPMD, man. And we definitely gonna have more to talk about.
The other day me and Rockwilder was in there playing headbanger, and I was like, yo, imagine what his tape was in there. We just talking
oh my God. Hey, I gotta tell you, man. Business Ever Personal, man. All the business albums, man. I know this is Craig Mack, man. But since we got Erick Sermon on the line, I want to say thank you for your contribution to hip hop too, man. I feel like I grew up with you guys, and you guys partially raised me. I had my dad, but you guys did your job in raising a culture of young men. You know what I'm saying, that you may not be aware of, like myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I want to appreciate you. I truly appreciate you for that.
Everybody can hear true people saying true stuff, trying to make sure that our veterans here can have their roses, and then tell them they shouldn't be stopping. Like, they should be moving forward because it's not stopping them people. Chuck D's still doing this thing, man. And Chuck D's 60. Ice-T's 60. These guys out here, Melly Mel and them, they all out here still doing them, not letting the world stop. But that's on the other. On another format. We should be able to be in mainstream if you feel like it and you up to it and you can do it. Somebody should open that door up, and because again, hip hop is still 43 years old. It's still mad young, and it shouldn't worry about the age. If the stuff is if it's real good music, there's no way you should stop that because it's individual. I remember somebody had told Jay-Z 7 years ago, one rapper, I ain't gonna mention his name, said, yo, man, Jay-Z should fall back and let everybody else eat. I'm like, nigga, you need to step your game up then, Right. You want nigga to stop it because he's still getting it and he's still making dope albums? No, what's wrong with you? You ain't got to do with him. You got to step your game up.
Right. Absolutely.
That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. And E-Dub, man, we definitely like to have you back on the 360 Mix Show, actually, so 360 can candidly talk to you about EPMD. And from our understanding, you got you working on a new project.
Again, with my new album called Vernia, Vernia, and I know y'all probably seen that with me, Big Crit, Styles P, AZ, Ghostface, Red Meth, Too Short, Pharrell. Like I'm this right here. I'm coming because again, at the end of the day, I knew that it's time now. The coaches, like Leo Cohen even said too, it feels like the golden era right now. Right now, we're just going to just put out new music and keep the game rolling.
Yeah, and we've been waiting on that. Because a lot of times I think, okay, where's Erick and Rakim right now? Oh, they coming back. They on tour. Two Live Crew back on tour. Erick Sermon back doing his thing.
The touring don't stop. I want people to make records. And everybody say, well, Eric, everybody's not in the position that you are to make records because, again, studios and money and beats and all that. I get it, the whole nine. If that's the case, then I won't fault you for that. But if you're just doing it because you feel that somebody is stopping you, that's the wrong reason.
Well, man, hip-hop has not gone anywhere, man, you know what I mean? And Erick Sermon, it has been a pleasure. It has been an honor. And we're going to be on the lookout for the Craig Mack documentary. We're going to be also looking out for your new project, your new album.
The first single should be coming in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Okay. Now you know, Eric, we got to get that exclusive before anybody else. You know, we
y'all automatically getting that number uno first.
That's what's up, man. Well, we really appreciate it, man. 360, any final words?
Again, man, God bless y'all, and y'all are doing great work, and God got his hands on y'all, and I think that people like y'all will set the path through for the up and comers and to put music for my child can have. My 12-year-old got to be able to choose this or that, and right now, luckily for these other games that's out because he playing Mama to Knock You Out and Onyx and all these stuff from these games, and the way that music is playing in these commercials is kind of helping us out. And also because right now the way the mind is being tricked between what we're hearing right now, it's a bad thing, and nobody's understanding. We're going to have more people, more drug addicts. We're going to have more people overdosing. We're going to have, it's already people like 4,000 teachers getting fired, 400 schools getting closed. Like, we just going down a downhill spiral as far as our future. And hip-hop, you know how important that was to us. So we have to put that back in perspective because music is second language. There's talking, then there's music. Music can change a world and a life and raise a village, too, sometimes. But music is just that powerful. So we got to make sure there's a balance, because if not, it's gonna really be messed up. It's already bad now.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
Damn.
And, like Tupac said, he said he might not be able to change the world, but he can spark the mind that will think about.
And that's why he's not here right now, because he was that powerful.
Yeah. Wow. Absolutely.
Well, Erick Sermon, like I said, is an honor, man. And, shout outs to everyone listening to us right here on the Beat Break Morning Show, talking to the legendary Erick Sermon on the phone lines, man. 360. Hey, Eric, we're going to bring you back on the 360 Mix Show. We'll contact your people to make that arrangement. And, we're definitely going to make it happen, all right?
All right, peace.
You're listening to the Beat Break Podcast.
Remember, anything can happen today.
On the Thinking Out Loud Network. Check out the Thinking Out Loud Network at thinkingoutloudnetwork.com.